Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. This is Gulpane, just back with a quick review here. And this one is Need for Speed Most Wanted 510. And this one is developed by EA Canada, published by EA Games, and released in 2005 for the old PlayStation Portable. And this one, I think this is the second one they released. Well, I'd have to go through them chronologically, but basically it is the second one they released, actually, yeah. So this one came after Need for Speed Underground Rivals on the PSP. Obviously there's other games, like Need for Speed games, released on like different systems and stuff that probably between Underground Rivals and this one, maybe, I don't know, but I'm not an expert on Need for Speed. But this one seems to be the second one in the old the list of Need for Speed games. So this one brought back the police, which was great, because I remember playing on the PS2 Need for Speed, what was it, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Hot Pursuit 2, we had great time with that one, playing two-player, and basically, like, one person being the police and one person being the street racer, and kind of, playing it. That was awesome. And obviously you can't do the same thing here with the PSP, because you'd need like two PSPs, two copies of the game, and the ability to link them up somehow. So that's kind of like not really, I'm not really going to be able to do that, because I don't have anyone that kind of wants to play Need for Speed with me anymore on the PSP anyway. I'm sure I could find some people that wanted to play it on PS2. But this one you have lots of different modes as well. Apparently this one was released, again, I didn't play this for the consoles, so I don't know, but this one was released for consoles, and it has like a story mode and like different sort of like modes in it, but they kind of trimmed it down. Obviously the PSP would have been like smaller, like, so than the consoles, so they trimmed it down and retained a nice graphical look, but took out a lot of the storylines and cutscenes and whatnot in it, so which is kind of disappointing. But this one you can play as the police, which is great. I don't know what it is. I just love playing as the police. But this one, the police will chase you and they'll try and run you off the road when you're sort of going around like doing different races and stuff, which is which I think kind of that's what Need for Speed was famous for. And that's why it's so strange when I play the some of the PSP Need for Speed games and the police aren't chasing you, particularly the one when you're on like drift, where you're on the tracks and stuff. It seems so strange. I think Need for Speed is the best when you are going around the city, or the sort of like in a kind of a street racing environment, and that sort of aesthetic. I think that's where Need for Speed kind of excels. Again, this one it's not like the newer Need for Speed games where you drive to a different location and then you initiate a race. This one you select it, and it doesn't have the kind of, obviously I said that right, the story of the previous games, but like even like Own the City has like a little story where you're kind of like choosing which parts of the city you want to kind of take over. This one has a list of the most wanted people in the city, and then your kind of task then is to become like the most wanted if you're the street racer person. So you have like different kind of street, I don't want to say street credibility, or different kind of points to get up to that. You can also like get money from the different races as well, to get different cars, and I think that's kind of where the strength of Need for Speed is the kind of car customization. It doesn't have a lot of customization in this one either, not as much as other games, but there is like the tuning out of the car as well. It seems to be like the same sort of thing that they do in all the PSP games. I find that the kind of making the car like your own is very similar in each one of the games. They don't really do a lot of that particular mechanic of the game isn't kind of updated as much as I'd like it to be in the games. Like obviously in the first one, Underground Rivals, like there's just like body kits, so you can't like do up a lot of the car like in detail, whereas by the time they get to like On the Streets you can do it up in detail. So but then it's like you have like level 1 nitrous oxide, or level like level 2 chassis and stuff. That sort of stuff is similar. I think the the performance of the car in and I don't, to be honest, I don't really like notice it that much either when I'm driving. I think it's just like when you buy a newer car, not a newer car, when you buy a more expensive car, when they're unlocked, they just seem to have like higher speed and higher acceleration. So I'm not sure how much, like I'm sure it does like you know, do stuff to the car so that obviously, you know, the gameplay is affected. But yeah, so it's similar to the other games where Need for Speed games where you have to like basically just get loads of money and then become like the. There is a good progression in the game, but without some sort of story, I don't know. Like even like if they attempted a story with stills or something, I think it'd be better. But I don't know. Anyway, this one's pretty good. This one is better than the first one, I think. And the graphics just continue to astound me for the PSP games. So that's Need for Speed. Not Hot Pursuit, I was going to say Hot Pursuit. That is Need for Speed Most Wanted 510. Thanks for watching. If you played it, let me know in the comment section below and let me know what you think of this game. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next video. Adios.